Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Robin Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Robin Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. It is day 3 of the King Me series, 5 simple yet essential tips for the Christian single king. Now, I am so excited about this because this is the first time that I have special guests on my podcast. I'm 3 months in and I've never had anyone on. So in each segment, there's a segment at the end called Kings with Character. And every day someone joins me and they give me their spiel on the topic at hand. Today's topic is cultivate character, leading with integrity. Now on day 1, we talked about God first in all things with Brother Sean Lyles. Yesterday, we talked about planning greatness, praying and working, and that was with King J. Barnett. And today we have a very, very influential man of God. He's a minister. He's an author. He is on social media with well over 100,000 followers. In fact, I think almost 150,000 followers. And his name is John Momplaisir. And he is going to share some incredible words of wisdom with us today about cultivating character as a man of God and leading with integrity. So before we get into that, I would just like to give you a little bit of the take that God had given me on this topic. So I want to make sure you guys are social media savvy and that you are on point with the hashtags in case you want to repost or share. It's hashtag Thrive, Cultivate, Reign, and that's REIGN, King Me series, Kings with Character, and lastly, live your authentic purpose. Also, make sure you hit the link below this podcast and you can download your free ebook to go with the series. Now, I want to jump right in for today and give you just a little bit of what God has shared with me about this topic. Now, the character of a gentleman is powerful. Okay, so when a man of faith and vision develops his character, it blesses the masses. Because, guys, the process of cultivating this trait is one that requires consistency. It also requires living with integrity. Integrity, essentially, is the quality of being honest, having strong moral principles, and moral uprightness. So when all of these things are intact, it's a guaranteed recipe for success. So one of the dopest things about having great character, by far the greatest element, is that it carries weight far beyond money or material things. So when a gentleman's reputation is honorable, it will also bless his family for generations to come. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm all about developing generational wealth and planting seeds. Planting seeds is really paramount, in really seeing the goodness of the Lord in the lands of the living, honestly. If you want to be able to carry on your hard work and the things that God put in your heart to leave for your family and to leave to bless other people, you want to make sure that your character and your integrity is intact, because I know my mother has been gone for over 20 years, almost 30 at this point. And guess what? People still talk about her legacy because she left something powerful in the earth. So having great character is really important, and it is a very important element of how God can establish your good name. Many times we see family dynasties with heirs that continue to get the blessing of their forefathers because they laid such a lasting impact on the world. And no matter what you do, big or small, someone is always watching. So you always want to make an effort to pour into yourself at the highest level so that you can live a prosperous and fulfilling life. And there's this incredible quote that I love by Miles Monroe. He passed away, I believe it was last year, a year before last, an incredibly impactful, powerful man of God. And he said this: solid character will reflect itself in consistent behavior, while poor character will seek to hide behind deceptive words and actions. That right there, I can tell you just from personal experiences I've recently had, that quote has really been illuminated in my life, because I'm really beginning to separate the wheat from the tare. And I think that those of us who may be questioning people's character, people who present the picture of having character, he said it. Pay attention to the person's words and actions, and you will see if they're deceptive, if they say they'll do it and they don't, or if they don't show up, if they're not consistent. Pay attention to those things, because God always makes it evident. We just have to be open and willing to receive it as he presents it to us. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce today's special guest for our Kings with Character segment, and that is none other than John Momplaisir.
One of the most important characteristics of a man is found in his ability, or how he leads. And a king is one who leads with integrity. There are three important factors that we must take into consideration when we're dealing with a king who leads with integrity. One, this king must be a king who walks in honesty, who is honest in all that he does. Even in difficult times, when he is challenged, he still manages to tell the truth. He is clear, he is concise, he is very careful not to mislead anyone or to give them misinformation. He does all that he can do to be honest. Number two, another very important quality when we're dealing with a leading with integrity is the aspect of morality. I believe that a king values morals. He is one who stands for uprightness. He is moral in what he does. His approach, he does it from the basis of his morality. And finally, a king that leads with integrity is not only honest and is not only moral and upright, but he is also consistent in all of his behaviors. It is one thing to be able to tell the truth. Many are capable or have the ability of being honest. But what makes or distinguish him from the rest is that he is consistent in his behavior. He is not one who tells the truth today and then changes tomorrow. He's not one who stands for uprightness, who stands for the right thing and then changes tomorrow. But he is consistent in his behavior. It is his consistency that is going to show you that he's serious about leading with integrity. What I absolutely love about a king that leads with integrity is that a king's integrity has the ability to inspire others to follow his lead. It's not just a matter of him leading, but you can be a leader and not be a very good one. But the thing with when someone leads with integrity, such as a king, you inspire others to want to follow your lead because there is a level of trust that there is there. When you know a king walks in integrity, you're able to trust him. You know that this king will never do you wrong. You understand that this particular king will always attempt to protect you. Sure, you're going to have disagreements. Sure, you're not going to agree on every single matter, but you're certain that he's going to have your best interest at heart. You know that this king will not harm you. He is not going to hurt you, but his goal will always be to help you. With knowing that it is very easy to follow the leading of a king because of these qualities, because of the fact that he walks in integrity. And what is wonderful about an individual who walks in integrity is that a good name always goes before you. Reputation is an honorable thing. In fact, not only is a king honorable, but because of his reputation, But his reputation can serve as a blessing for generations to come. His children's children can actually benefit from a king's good name because he walked in integrity. Individuals who walk in integrity always stand out. And it's not a quality that everyone chooses to have. Takes a king to truly lead with integrity. Because the reality is, with power comes the ability to do a lot of harm. A study was done some time ago where they took 12 college students and they gave them the ability or the power to be guards. And so they were in authority. They had the ability to be guards. And they took 6 of the other 12 and they made them prisoners. This particular study was supposed to last a month. And what happened, within 6 days, they had to stop the study because those who were actually giving the ability to have authority over the other group of the class became verbally abusive, very demeaning. It's almost as though they took it to their head. And so we value a king who actually leads with integrity, because although they have some authority and power, they're very cautious in how they use it. They use it to serve you, to benefit you, to help you, to protect you, to provide for you, as opposed of using it to hurt you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that causes a king to stand out is that he leads with integrity. I'm John Momplaisir, and this is a characteristic of a king.
Wow, that was really, really rich. The thing that stuck out to me was when he said a man's approach is done from the basis of his morality, and he spoke on the consistency of a man. I think that that's something that, if it's cultivated and it's really worked on as you develop yourself in the process of developing the characteristics of a king, it is one of the most attractive, honorable things that a woman pays attention to. And like I said, this does not matter if it's a father figure, a brother, a cousin, a son, whatever the case may be. It is just a very honorable feeling for a woman to know that she is dealing with or spending her time with someone who has character and integrity, because she feels safe around him. So again, that's just a really, really good thing for you to think about. And if anybody's listening right now and you're questioning that, just pay attention. And I actually have a podcast coming up next week, and it's called Words, Actions, and Patterns. And I think where some people are getting caught up in this thing is that we're missing or confusing someone with character and integrity by words and actions, when God really wants you to pay attention to patterns, because that's what a real answer is. And again, that goes back to that moral fiber. So thank you guys for listening. And if you want to follow John, you can follow Mr. John Momplaisir at JOHNMONPLAISIR. And that's on Instagram and other forms of social media. Also, he has an incredible book that is currently out on Amazon, and it is called Treasury of a Man's Thoughts. I put the link below this podcast, and you can go right to it to purchase it. And you can also go to his website. So again, guys, I just want to say thank you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 4, and that is position yourself, a prepared place. Tomorrow is about what happens when God gives us that wisdom to move forward as he positions you to go to the place he's called you to be. And this is definitely paramount for our kings with character to listen to, and for our women of God to know, so that we can be supportive on their plights. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word, and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.